Hey everybody, this is Greg from Poleshift Alert. Eventually I'm going to be doing some very high-end documentaries and podcasts. But until that point, you'll just have to bear with me. I do the best I can considering the situation. And, I look like a fumbling, bumbling, stumbling guy on some of these videos. And that's because I'm just a normal human being like you. I'm not a scientist that's being paid to hide the truth from humanity. Okay? I'm just a normal guy who found out a bunch of information and happens to be really good at researching and finding out the truth. So let's get back to episode 2. So is Planet X a thing? Is this mysterious object actually out there? And is it on the way? Is it legit? We've been hearing yes, we've been hearing no. Now it's so God damn it. So is Planet 9 a thing? Planet X, Nibiru, all the stuff that we're hearing, all the stuff that we're seeing, is it real? They're coming out saying, oh, it's a sundog. Nobody ever saw this, ever, in the past. And when they did, they weren't saying it was no sundog. So clearly there's something in the skies. Clearly they're hiding it. And the news doesn't have to report it because NASA didn't come out and say, hey, there it is. So we all see it, but NASA doesn't? Boy, that really makes you have a little bit of apprehensions about NASA. You can't see that out the window? Wow. So they see it. So why is this covered? Why is this one particular area in the sky covered? And clearly you can see something is behind there. Now, I showed you in episode 1 what's hiding behind there. You're hiding this area. You're saying this is some glitch in the sky and it's been hidden for years. Oddly enough, right where the Bible in the book of Revelation says to look for an object waiting to snatch the young of a baby that Virgo is going to give birth to, that's a weird place for that black box to be, is right where the Bible says to look for a red dragon that happens to be on the MasterCard and the Japanese flag. A lot of people are worried that we're going to have some worldwide flood. Well, how? That's how much water there is on the face of our planet. In total, in a big round ball. You can see the size of the round ball. Okay? So, seas are going to move. Water's going to move. And that's a lot of water. Don't get me wrong. But that's the nature of a pole shift. The water is here and it moves over here. And then this dries out, leaving a desert. Sand is the bottom of ancient oceans. That's the reason why when you're in Utah or anywhere, you're standing pretty much on the bottom of an ancient ocean floor because the water just keeps moving to new locations and freezing in certain places for 3,000 to 4,000, sometimes 12,000 years, depending on how far the pole moves each time. Sometimes we are protected by the sun and the pole shift isn't as bad. It depends on where we are in our rotation when this thing comes by. Depends on how bad the pole shift is going to be. Now, clearly, there's not going to be a worldwide flood. Now, that amount of water can increase. Now, let me explain to you how. In the last pole shift, the North Pole was ripped off and thrown into the water and created a 3-mile high wave and melted it very quickly. And there could be a 300-foot sea level rise because of condensation that will fly into the air, which will cause it to rain for around 40 days and 40 nights worldwide, oddly enough. There's a couple previous locations of North Poles. There's a lot more of them than they want you to know about. There's a lot more hidden civilizations than they want you to know about, because each time this comes by, each one of these red dots represents the moving of the pole. Now, did this cause a civilization shift? Probably not. But some of these probably did. I mean, look at the size of some of these pole shifts. These are not peaceful events. And you can see here the Siberian flux lobe. I have never heard of that. What the hell is that? And there's one on the other pole too. So this has something to do. There's a lot of stuff they don't want you to know about poles, the earth, how it rotates, its tilt, whatever. There's a lot of stuff they're hiding and lying about. A lot of people want to believe that these things in the sky are to just do some sort of geoengineering to dim the sun or blah, blah. You're all wrong. It's to hide incoming planets from view. And to take care of part 2, which is Agenda 21, which is in the first video, to get rid of the riffraff. Okay? So, wherever they are, there's stuff they're hiding. Now, these planes are based out of 2 locations. There's 8 of them, unmarked. And they're flatly for one purpose, to hide things in the sky that they don't want you to see. Okay? As a person who's admittedly not a scientist, we have to wonder, how did in 1680 whatever, 1683, how did 2 suns appear in the sky? Somehow, some way, this binary star of Earth somehow gets in just such a position that it can be seen from Earth. Now, clearly, they're not suggesting in this article that it's a sundog or an atmospheric phenomena, because it's not. It's an orb and physical object that has been visiting Earth for a long time, and clearly you can say what you want to about this, but I call that evidence. Okay? Behind me is the Statue of Liberty. She has 7 thorns on her crown, exactly the same amount of thorns as there are planets in the sky that are incoming from this binary star. If you go like that, that's our sun. That is our binary star. This is the woman in Virgo that they are talking about. She is looking to 30 degrees the direction of our incoming second sun, the southeast. You can say all of these things are a coincidence, but they're not. 7 thorns, 7 incoming planets. That right there represents our sun rising in the morning and our binary star above it as people are filming in the sky. Look at the filming of the video. There's a lot of times where it's off, just off. That right there represents our binary star. This is telling you about our day of liberty, the rapture. On her tablet, it says July 4th. On July 4th, the stars moved. I tried to put the video up. It won't allow it. July 4th, the stars moved. Here's ABC News. 2 suns setting over China. They each reported it one time as if 2 suns in the sky is no big deal, and lied about it being some atmospheric phenomena, when clearly people are filming it all over on the world in opposite sides of the sky. There's no way that none of this is legit. They're going to blame it on you. They're going to blame it on climate change and global warming. Don't be fooled. Poleshift.